In a world where one woman tries to start a podcast,
how will I ever do this on my own?
She thought she would have to get expensive equipment.
What? I can do all of this on a free app?
She thought she would have to find creation tools all over the internet.
You mean it can all be contained in an app on my phone and computer?
She thought she would have to do all her own distribution.
You mean to tell me this app is going to send it to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all those other platforms for me?
She thought she would never make any money.
I don't have to wait for a minimum listenership to monetize?
She thought that she would have to find all kinds of different equipment and pieces.
But I'm going to download this free Anchor app and get started today.
Visit Anchor.fm and download the free Anchor app to be just like her, the ultimate podcaster.
Hello and welcome to the Lou Review. This is Rosa and I'm here with Danielle, the baker behind the Inebriated Baker.
Hello, thanks for having me.
You have such a lovely voice.
Why, thank you. This is my radio podcast voice.
Ooh, man, hidden talent. She's just going to whip that out as soon as we start recording.
Ryan Seacrest has nothing on me.
Oh my goodness. So, we just met recently, and you have not been working in Louisville, but you are going to be expanding soon from the Lexington area into the Louisville area.
Correct.
And tell us about what you make.
So I make an edible cocktail. What? What is that? Well,
What in the world?
it is the world's only, and I do mean that, cocktail you can eat. So I take your favorite cocktail and I reimagine it from cake, top to bottom and everywhere in between, right?
Okay.
To be an edible cocktail. For instance, a margarita is going to taste just like a margarita. You're going to get that hint of salt. You're going to get that lime. You're going to get that tequila. You're going to get that triple sec. I have mimosas, margaritas, sangrias, pina coladas, Long Island iced teas, chocolate-covered bourbon balls. I mean, I do it all.
And
Any
you're-
cocktail. Old fashions.
Oh, I
Womp womp.
love old fashions, so I can't wait to try some of that.
Yeah. So anywho doozle, womp womp. I made them for you, and I forgot them in Lexington. And guess when I remembered? When I was getting off the exit. So I couldn't turn around because I was already late as it was. Thank you, traffic.
Yeah.
So I am so sorry. But you did try some other stuff in my store,
did.
yeah? What'd you try?
I had the mimosa one and the lemon drop one,
Yeah.
and I really haven't had many lemon drop martinis, but I have had mimosas, and I think I liked your mimosa cupcake better than most mimosas I've had. Mostly because my problem with mimosas is the orange juice being too acidic. So,
Yeah, well, yeah.
So it's like all the flavor without that.
Thank you. So you got that champagne, you got that
I
orange,
did.
that big rolled orange.
Yes,
I'm glad.
champagne
I take pride in my work.
Was good in that. You can taste that in the cake, and then a lot of the orange was in like the icing and stuff. And,
Excellent. Yeah, everything is different. I do all whatever the cocktail calls for. So it's not just all bourbon. Hey, I got a lot of bourbon. This is Kentucky, hello.
Right.
But I do rum and I do tequila, gin, whatever. All the cocktails.
Okay, what's your favorite cupcake that you make with rum?
Oh, with rum, I like a rum ball.
And then what's your favorite that you make with gin?
Gin, I would say the Long Island iced tea. I'm not a huge gin fan myself, but I am from New York, as you can tell. Coffee, water, quarter stairs. Anyway, I do love my Long Island iced tea, and it is all the clear, so you can't go wrong there.
That does help.
It
Yes.
it gets you going where you need to go.
I have just started working with gin more, and
It's interesting.
have you worked with the Empress 1908 gin?
I have not.
With the color changes you can do
No,
with that?
I have
Do you know
no
what
idea.
I'm talking
No,
about?
I have no idea.
Okay, that's a separate conversation.
Ooh.
So we're going to see, so be watching the Inebriated Baker, and if she starts having some blue and purple cupcakes coming out, they might involve something new
I
that
don't
she's about to find
know.
out about. Okay,
Ooh,
so anyway.
I'm excited. Get the
So-
science on. I'm excited now.
Right, and you have like 70 different flavors on your regular menu.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I
Wow.
do. And what I do is every week I do something different. So that way, I have some old favorites like, bourbon ball. Some nice fall treats right now. I'm doing caramel apple, and I'm doing martini, and I'm doing a pumpkin spice martini, real pumpkin puree,
What?
real apple puree, and all my cupcakes are vegan. Believe it or not.
All of
Yeah,
them are
they
vegan.
are all vegan. And don't let that
Whoa.
non-vegan, non-vegans, I am not a vegan, and I'm telling you right now, I am very particular about what I eat. But when I had when I finally kind of really nailed down, it took me a while to nail down a really good vegan recipe. You can ask anybody online. They've been trying to get me to do this for a long time. It's just fantastic. It's a lighter, fluffier frosting. It's a lighter, fluffier cake. And it's just fantastic. Well, it really, really is.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, I know. So it's good for you. It's part of a wellness program. I'll be taking Blue Cross Blue Shield Anthem. It's paying soon. Wink, wink. But did I tell you?
What?
Moonshine cherry. That's my signature. I top everything with a free moonshine cherry. So if my booze on the inside don't get you, girl, my booze on the outside gonna get you. You'll be going down the street going womp, womp, womp.
From top to bottom.
Top to bottom and everywhere in between. Listen, my logo is a moonshine guy with a big old jug and a cupcake and swirly eyes. And I'm not messing around. Yeah, you're going to... There's one full shot in my jumbos, a half a shot guaranteed in my standards, quarter shot in my minis. Yeah, I'm not messing around.
That's good stuff.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
then you do custom work as
Absolutely.
well outside of your 70 standard
yes,
recipes.
I do layer cakes and I do all different sorts of things. I do a lot of weddings, special events now that we've kind of got that going once again. I do a lot of bridal parties, a lot of bridal showers, believe it or not. And a lot of wives or girlfriends will actually order old fashions for me to give to the men to have their parties.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because that is very popular with the men folks.
Yep.
Both cupcakes and old fashions.
Cupcakes are not just for the ladies, men's. Because I'll tell you, I got you boozy. I'm telling you.
That's pretty cool. How did you get started doing this?
Yeah, so I was in graduate school, and this is just what relaxed me. You know, now we're thinking about, this...
Like cooking with alcohol specifically, or just
Oh, well, yeah, I
baking
know
in
my way
general,
around
or-
a bar. I was in college for 14 years, so I know my way on the bar, under the bar, around the bar. And I did bartending, too, to put myself through school. But I decided, I wanted, honestly, this is how it came about. I wanted my cake and eat it, too. It's one of my taglines. Okay. But it's not really a marketing gimmick, is that I got out of graduate school. I only had so much money in my pocket.
True.
So I give myself a dinner, and then I'm not paying, let's say I have my beginning cocktail, and my starter. Then I have maybe a glass of wine with dinner. And then for dessert, I would love a dessert. I can say as you can see from my waistline, I cannot say no to a dessert. But I love my after dinner coffee cordial, which I have a whole menu of on my website. But I'm not paying another $25 on top of everything I paid again. So what I did was, I'm a frugal kind of gal.
Okay.
I put them together. It's a twofer. You can have your cake and eat it too, because literally it is a cake and a cocktail all in one.
All right. So was it hard for you to learn how to not cook the alcohol out?
Oh, yes. It took close to a decade to perfect the science behind it. I like to call it my magic and my witchcraft, but yeah, it took quite a bit. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's some dedication right there.
Well, you got to do what you love. And I like drinking. I love bartending. But I joke around. But I love parties, celebrations, special events, because there's so many things that we do in our lives, and we celebrate with food, whether or not we realize it or not. And this is one of those things. And I think that it just brings a smile to so many people's faces. And it's funny, this morning I delivered to a young boy, and I was dressed up in costume at the request of his grandmother, because she's a regular of mine and she's out of state.
An over 21-year-old boy.
He was 5 years old.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I do non-alcoholic varieties as well, is the whole
That's
point.
an
Because
option?
Because it is an option. Okay. I don't do them often, but I do them. Particularly because I am licensed to do what I do in the state of Kentucky for the use of the alcohol, but I don't I don't force it on anybody. So we have a lot of people who are recovering, so we take respect to that. So there's always a non-alcoholic option out there.
Oh, that's great.
Always. So never feel pressured. There's always a non-alcoholic option. If you go and partake in my goods, which I highly recommend because they're delicious, you must be 21. I do check your photo ID. You saw that, right?
Yes,
when you were at my store.
I did. I was
I mess around.
she's serious right now.
Oh, absolutely. You got to treat it just like a cocktail. And to that end, even though we are celebrating, we're having a good time, one must still be responsible for that. So treat my desserts, as fun as they are, with the logo they are, very much fun,
Right.
but you got to treat it with respect and responsibility.
So when I tried some of yours, I tried it after I had driven home with them and not before driving.
You did not eat them. They were packaged.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
We've got to make that clear.
I did eat them when I got home. I did not eat the packaging, I promise.
Okay, well, I hope not. Although I would
would've
hate
been
to see
another
what your
problem.
doctor would say with all that plastic.
Right? Definitely. They'd be like, you're supposed to know better, Rosa. But So, how did you get? So you got started doing this. We were talking earlier back in 2008. You started playing around with this idea.
Yeah. I started it in 08.
And then you moved to Kentucky in 2012.
Yeah, moved to Kentucky, Richmond in 2012.
From New York.
From New York. Well, from New York by way of a couple of other hopping. I hopped a couple of different places there, but I my coming out party here. In Lexington with the Inebriated Baker as a full-fledged business, incorporating all the other jazz, was 2019, November 2019. I did parties and festivals and things of that nature. And then my coming out party was supposed to be at a big event, a fundraiser for a wonderful organization in Lexington called God's Pantry, which does, it's a food bank. And it's just absolutely lovely. And that was supposed to be taking place in May of 2020. Of course, that got pushed back with COVID. But now I'm at a shop. I do have my store, my first storefront. It's a food stall, and something like similar in Louisville here to the Logan Market. It's called the Juliana Market, and it's located in Lexington, on the Gray Line Station building, and that's my first shop. But I got to tell you, I'm a fixing to come to Louisville. You know, I love me some Louisville now.
You come on.
How you like my pronunciation of that? Did I do okay?
You know, I think your husband trained you right there.
I think so.
He's from Kentucky, and so
born and raised.
He's been training her. He's like, just slur your words a little bit, and
slur
you can say
baby.
Louisville.
That's at Louisville. You got to Louisville. I got to drag it out of Louisville. So I take a couple shots of bourbon. Hey, it's all good.
So you're taking mental shots of bourbon to affect your speech. Yeah.
Mental, yes. Wink, 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 wink. Thank God this is a podcast. I'd be all out and all over the place. Wink.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, we did have her and her husband over for dinner earlier, and so we've already got to share some stuff. So.
Yeah, and this really, your house is lovely. Your family is fantastic, and thank you so much for having us. We're having a great time. Yeah. Gamers just like us.
Yes.
So I mean, we're peas in a pod.
Right. I mean, it's so fun to meet all these people who are not two dimensional. Like, you get to learn who they are at their business, and then you're like, oh, we have all this other stuff in common, and we have all these values in common. Like, you're Kentucky Proud certified, right? Because you're a Kentucky business, and I think we were talking about when you were getting started, as making this a business, it was kind of an overwhelming process. Like, where do you start? So what was a resource that was very helpful for you in getting started? I got to tell you, I told you I'm from New York, and I am so grateful for the Commonwealth, because I would not be I would never have made it this far in New York. It's just too complicated. It's too bureaucratic. It's too much red tape. I gotta tell you, I really wish somebody would have told me this. I spent so long trying to Google I fall into a Wikipedia hole. I fall into a Google search hole where I'm spending weeks and weeks and weeks and hours upon hours reinventing the wheel and trying to find all the information to do this, that, and the other thing. I must have spent months doing this. Trademarks, finding and employing, registering your business, where you get your tax, your sales tax information, so on and so forth. And all you had to do is utilize the wonderful resources that the government here in Kentucky provides to you. Here's a great one, y'all. If you're interested in starting any business, I don't care what it is, any business at all, go to the Kentucky One Stop Business Portal. That's onestop.kentucky.ky.gov. Oh, yeah.
So onestop.ky.gov, the Kentucky One Stop Business Portal. It's a one-stop shop for anything and everything that you need. I really wish I knew then what I know now. I would have saved myself months of spinning my wheels. And another thing, oh my gosh, I can't say this enough. Go to your local Small Business Association, SBA office. They're all over the state. And schedule an appointment with a consultant. They're free. It's free.
And what do they do?
Free. Well, they have marketing experts and supply chain experts, and they have experts in every single field. Wow. And you go there and you get your own coach, and you walk through, and you can develop a business plan, and you can develop all these different things, tools that you need in order to get funding and what have you. They just have all these wonderful resources. Like, if you don't know social media, they'll help you with some social media. They'll help you how to write a media press kit. It's especially with the business plan, because a lot of businesses, they'll start something and then maybe they don't know how to manage their books, do accounting. Guess what? The SBA offers free online Zoom classes. That's
amazing.
Yes, go there. Utilize what's free. Don't reinvent the wheel. Kentucky, I gotta say, the Commonwealth has really blessed me, and I cannot sing their praises enough. I really can't. So many wonderful resources.
Yeah.
For small businesses, very small, very pro small business.
Yes.
We're lucky here.
Definitely.
Really.
I've met so many small business owners, like going down to these different farmers markets and people just getting started on things that maybe they had an idea for before the pandemic. And then since then, they're like, I'm just going to do it.
You got it.
Because, I mean,
why not?
There's nothing to it but to do it, right?
You got to do it. Start out small. That's what I did. You don't start off with, like a 50,000 square foot Walmart sized building. You start out small. Yeah. Do what you know. Use your talents. As I'm quoting a movie here. What movie am I quoting? Comment below. Do what you know. Start small. Use your talents. Improvise. Practice. If somebody can figure that one out, God bless you, because you're just as much of a nerd as I am. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, you start off small. I started small. I started with the local markets and tents and festivals. I moved myself up to Crave, and I did the Kentucky Bourbon Fest. I mean, you kind of feel it out, find the cadence, find your audience, and then your business will grow. Your marketing will grow organically. You'll get better skilled in what you're doing. But you got to make that first step and start small. You don't have to quit everything and drop your house and sell the kids and da 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 da. You don't have to do all that. You can make it a whole family affair and do it on the weekends.
Exactly.
Do it from your home.
It is really sweet to see families getting together to do really nice. The family business and getting the kids involved is really nice.
Absolutely. So. It's a great bonding opportunity. It really is. And you get to teach them about money and how to sales and how to talk to people, public speaking skills. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
A lot of transferable skills.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. So if somebody wanted to...
Can I borrow your kids and they can clean my house? That's also a skill.
Oh, I mean, if you want to deal with Stacy's price increases...
Oh my gosh, her restaurant was so expensive.
Like, you saw what she tried to charge you for a hot dog.
Woo!
She's like, this is going to be what's a 1 and a 2? Put that together? 12. Yeah, it's a $12 hot dog.
But I'm sure it's gourmet fabulous.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Made with
She's
love
got some swagger.
And magic sparkles.
Oh, magic sparkles? That's how I make my stuff.
See, I think you have a different formula.
I do.
Than my 5-year-old. I would
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
But she sure was cute trying to show you
adorable.
her restaurant when you came in. Yeah. So, if somebody wanted to try your stuff, but they can't get over to Lexington, how are they going to get some of that?
Yeah, I know. That's terrible. We're just kind of baiting the hook and dangling out for you. But guess what, people? I got you covered because I ship. What? I ship nationwide. I do. So you can go on my website, inebriatedbaker.com. INEBRIATED Really should have thought one out. .com, or you just follow me on Instagram, and that's Inebriated Baker Certified Lush. Again, what? But listen, make it easier for yourself. Just start spelling inebriated, INEBRIATED, Baker, and you'll find is a logo of a moonshine guy, right? Big long beard, swirly eyes, right? Popping out with a cupcake and a moonshine jug. You can't miss them, neon green and pink. Just click on it because that's Mama Bear right there. You got me. Right. There I am.
And then you have a link in your bio to your website.
Yes, I certainly do. And I do parties, catering, special events. I've been doing a lot of events, and I am booking into 2022 now for weddings.
Wow.
Bridal showers and what have you. I do a lot of anniversary parties. I'm always up here. For a big enough party, I deliver free, by the way, to northern Kentucky, on the border of Kentucky. Can't go over Cincinnati. I don't have a license for Ohio. And also Louisville. I'm constantly in Louisville, as you can see right now.
Yeah. We're going to try to keep you.
Yeah, you can have me.
Yeah. Yes!
You can have me.
We win! But you should...
With this kind of fanfare I'm getting, my gosh.
She's like,
I'm never leaving. I think you have a guest room, right? Can I stay?
It's occupied tonight, but maybe tomorrow.
Okay, no problem.
So, let's see. I was going to say you ship nationwide.
I sure do.
So that's cool. So even if somebody in your hometown of New York wants some, they can order it to try it.
Yep. And you can also always give me a call at 859-823. You're going to love this. Lush. LUSH. That's 5874. So 859-823 LUSH 5874. You can't say I didn't think about all this.
I think you did when you were
a little bit.
You had a long time that you were thinking about this, and you really made it happen.
And I told you we were talking previously, and I said that I'm more of a bartender. I think of myself first and foremost as a bartender, and then as a baker because I spent so many years as a bartender.
Yeah.
And as a patron, I ain't gonna lie, under the bar. Across the bar. I start off at the bar and then end up under the bar.
You haven't mentioned on top of the bar.
Oh, on top of the bar. No, I have bad knees.
Oh, back then?
Bad knees all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
from hitting the floor.
All right, I'll have to get on top of the bar for you.
Well, that's a different podcast, y'all.
Hey, I would do that sober. What? She hasn't known me very long, you guys. She doesn't know how uninhibited I am at baseline.
Oh, we're gonna be besties or go to jail. One of the two.
No jail.
Are you sure?
Yeah, my policy is just don't do anything you're ashamed of.
Ah,
so I try to keep it legal and I keep it above board. I don't want to be embarrassed about anything, you know.
I agree. I agree. Life's too short. You can't do anything. And plus, you can't get away from anything anymore. Everyone's got a camera.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like when I was coming up where you can just forget about it.
So it's like if you don't want to be doing something on camera, you shouldn't be doing that. Probably.
Yeah, that's right. You can't go out in public.
Yeah,
that's
how I feel. Yeah, and it's kind of like my mom described it as living in a glass house. Like I grew up with 5 siblings.
Oh, really?
And I shared a bedroom. Like there's 3 girls in one bedroom, 3 boys in another bedroom, and we all shared one bathroom. So it's 8
like Brady
people.
house.
But the Bradys had such a huge, nice house.
Really?
Okay.
That's Hollywood magic.
Oh yes, definitely, and a maid. Okay, I feel like I was the maid, but yeah,
and on a one income.
Right, and so you couldn't hide anything from anybody. Privacy and having your own space was not a thing. Yeah. So we were really big on just don't do anything that you don't want to that you'd be not wanting to get caught doing because somebody's gonna know.
My dad always said, "Don't go to jail because I'm not bailing you out."
Well, that's one way to look at it too. I think my dad might have said that too, but that wasn't my inclination. So we didn't have to have that talk too many times. No. So. Right. I'm not going to talk about why your daddy may have had to say that more than once to you.
Actually, I was a really good kid.
Were you?
I was a little nerd bird. No, I'm still a nerd bird. Now I'm a gamer. Like we were talking about.
You went to college for 14 years.
Yeah, well, I'm not smart. I'm not a smart person.
What?
I told you, a lot of bars. Well, I used to be a professor, so I'm a retired professor, and this is my passion. And we were talking about this previously, that COVID, everyone now is the great resignation and everyone's finding their bliss. This was my bliss.
Yeah.
But I was too scared to make that jump, kind of, calling back to our previous conversations. And then, opportunity came and I kind of took it. But again, start off, you don't have to drop everything, but start off small enough. An opportunity comes along. See where it might take you. Slow and steady wins the race. You might find yourself following a completely different path and loving every minute, not dreading, doing what you're doing because you just don't have the passion in it anymore. Or it's stressful. There's a lot of you find I love teaching, but what I taught subject matter wise was very very stressful. And very very serious, and it takes a toll on you emotionally. Same thing with you. You were a nurse.
Yeah.
For years and years and years. I mean, after a while, you may love it. I loved what I did, but it's just
you need a change of flavor.
And sometimes it's just too much.
Right. Like I worked in ICU for years, and now I'm
doing
doing outpatient. Yeah. So I still get to help patients, but it's in a different way that's better for my mental health right now. But I think that, like in your story, as you transition from something that you did care about and you were passionate about, and
I love teaching,
to something else that you're good at and passionate about, I think it's very hopeful, that your life doesn't have to be one thing. And when you start getting out of high school, and you don't have to know where you're going to end up because nobody does.
No, you might think you do, but
right. You may need to do things in 5 different directions, and that'll just make the patchwork of your life more beautiful.
And life throws curveballs at you. There's bumps in the road. But see, you went from helping people in one way to help them another way. Myself as well. I help them in one way as a teacher, but now I help them in a different way, which is parties, special events. Particularly now more than ever after COVID, people they need that social contact.
Yes.
And some kind of, I joke with my fun brand, haha, it's party, but it really serves a purpose. It's kind of getting that social creatureness back out there in a fun and interesting way. And and another aspect I love, and feel free to DM me if you have any questions that I can help you with as a small business. I will try to help you as best I can. If not, I will find someone who can, I will suggest a path for you to go on. I don't know all the answers. I only know what I know, and that's not a lot, to be honest with you. I barely know where I live or where I am half the time. But honestly, I'll try to help you or find the information for you, or say, hey, listen, go to your local SBA office or go here, and at least get you on the path of where you need to go. But that's another way. I'm taking my teaching that I love so much in mentoring and kind of putting it into something different. But again, it's just you got to see the what is it? Can't see the forest from the trees. You got to try to do that. Change your vantage point, and I think things will open up.
Yeah.
And happiness, it really does make a difference.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing with us how you're following your bliss, Danielle. And follow her at the Inebriated Baker Certified Lush on Instagram. You can order from her online or give her a call, and she'll get right back with you. I have tested that multiple times this week. She's pretty responsive. So
I try.
So listen on the Lou Review on Spotify or the other Google, Apple Podcasts, and subscribe wherever you are to get notifications about our next episode, because there are more upcoming events that we will be working with Danielle on and partnering with other small businesses. So
I'm very excited.
You may want to hear about that. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.